In 1964, villagers from Jingchuan County, Gansu Province, came across a mysterious hole in the ground. Steps lead to a chamber where they find a stone casket. Inside, there are several more caskets. Finally, they get to a bottle that contains what looks like 14 grains of rice. Local expert Zhang Yingwen is asked to examine the find. He soon realizes that the villagers have discovered something amazing: holy relics, the bones of a Buddhist saint buried in an underground palace on the orders of Empress Wu Zetian. December 31st of 2012, farmers in a nearby village make another shock discovery. This time it's the gilded head of a Buddha. They get in touch with Jingchuan County's archaeology department. Experts agree it's another major find. Massive excavations soon begin. On January 8th of 2013, just 9 days after the discovery of the Buddha head, the archaeologists find a collapsed cave. Once they remove the rubble, they find something even more shocking: another coffin-shaped box, this time made of bricks. They pick their way through the bricks, removing earth and soil as they go. There's an inscription on one of the bricks. If the words are to be believed, the archaeologists are onto something really big, something beyond their wildest dreams. Truth relics, Buddhist bones, and more than 2,000 pieces of Buddhist relics. The discovery of the head and excavation of the cave remind them of the 1964 find. Some people are surprised that it has taken 49 years to unearth more relics related to the Jingchuan Dayun temple. Still, nobody expected to turn up 2,000 relics. Liu Yulin is the former curator of the Ping'an Museum. Now he's on his way to Jingchuan the moment he heard news of the discovery. But he never forgot the similar scene 49 years ago.
就是第3天我去以后，张彦文一见我就非常高兴的就说：“哎呀，这回弄了个大宝啊！”发现以后我就觉得是一个他终生里头一个非常了不起的一个重大的发现。
Zhang Yingwen was in charge of the investigation into the relics found in 1964. He also took charge of the excavation of the ruins of the Dayun temple. He briefed Liu Yulin on the relics as soon as he got them back to district headquarters. Liu Yulin knew nothing about Buddhist relics. He owes all his knowledge of relics to Zhang Yingwen. When Zhang Yingwen passed away, Liu Yulin took on the task of continuing his friend's life work. Now that Buddhist relics have turned up again in Jingchuan, he is very keen to see if there are anything like those discovered 49 years ago. The whole archaeological community immediately grasps the significance of the discovery of the gilded head. Further investigation is given top priority, but news of the inscription on the brick causes even more excitement. Right away, some archaeologists are sent to the county. If there really are 2,000 relics inside the casket, this discovery is huge.
铭文里头明确记载到可能会有舍利，但是不清楚到底舍利是不是埋在就是这个陶棺里边，因为当陶棺里边又都是一些有机的东西，它如果一下打开的话，会对它产生一定这个破坏，就怕它这个什么保护文物保护这块跟不上，所以就当时这个陶棺挖出来以后一直都没有打开。
Before they go any further, the team are going to need an expert restorer and conservator. Zhang Yongjian of the Shanxi Archaeology Institute's Restoration Department joins them. Although she has spent many years restoring and preserving archaeological artifacts, the prospect of dealing with the contents of the casket makes her nervous.
从铭文上来说，这个有可能是，就是有记载的是有舍利子，或者是佛骨，或者是佛牙。看到表层的那一层就是土，表面上你看不到这个文物内部的这个情况。所以说呢，我也是考虑到拍这个 X 光片儿。
这你还要进去，这个只是
哎，就是高一点，高一点。
那不行，那我不能保证你这文物会散架，你反正要散架，我就没办法。
The teams run into a problem. The casket and the scanner are not the same height. The casket is already severely damaged. Using the machine could completely destroy it. Zhang Yongjian decides not to continue with the scan. Someone suggests removing the base of the casket. Without the base, the casket fits into the machine. The scan goes ahead. The CT scan shows 4 bottle-like objects inside the 40-centimeter long and 25-centimeter wide casket. The bottles seem to be on their sides. When the images are enlarged, the team makes a surprising discovery.
这是第一个瓶子，第一个瓶子瓶口朝上，这是瓶子的茎土。第二层面，你看这是空气，这是土，这下面这高密度，有可能就是舍利子。
Objects appear in the middle of the image generated by the CT scan. They look like teeth. The teams think they have found the relics.
佛牙，佛骨，
还有个佛牙，可能。
哦，我感觉就是个骨头。
上面有点骨。
土地学啊，他说根据那个的，我们判断这里面可能就是2000个舍利，这就是佛牙佛骨，看，对吧？
Although they now have a clearer picture of the relics, they still need to open the casket and have a look inside. It's not going to be easy. There is lacquer, fabric, paper, and other organic material inside the casket. This is likely to have decomposed over the years. Separating the relics from the decomposed matter is going to test Zhang Yongjian's skills. Although the find is similar to the 1964 discovery, and the inscription says the casket contains relics, more evidence is needed. The team can't rely on scans. To get hard evidence, they need to open the casket and have a look inside. But what do people know about the history of the relics? The inscription on the brick could give the team some clues. After all, it was the writing on the casket that proved the relics had been buried 1,000 years ago on the orders of Empress Wu Zetian. Relics were clearly very important to Wu Zetian. She had Dayun temples built up and down the country and made sure they were stocked with relics. The relics found in 1964 were also buried in great style in a crystal bottle concealed in a series of bronze, silver, and gold coffins. The coffins resembled those used to bury a king or emperor. Clearly, no expense had been spared. Why did Wu Zetian go to all this trouble? 1,300 years ago, Wu Zetian took the final step to become the monarch of the newly proclaimed Zhou dynasty. Interrupting the Tang dynasty, Wu Zetian was a cruel and heartless woman who gained power behind the scenes by uniting the imperial harem and making the emperor into her puppet. However, she soon was tired of playing the puppet master. She wanted to be crowned empress and start her own dynasty. There was one problem. China had never had a female ruler. The idea that there could be a female emperor, an empress, was absurd to the people brought up to believe in the teachings of Confucius. Confucius stressed filial piety and patriarchal values. How could a woman rule in a country whose people accepted these teachings?
吴在清为了确立女人可以当皇帝，他要在理论界寻找依据，可是呢，终归是禅让制，因此嘛，他找不到女人可以当皇帝理论依据。同时，封建社会对这个男尊女卑的思想，根深蒂固，老百姓不容易接受突然出现一个女皇帝。
Wu Zetian faced a problem. The mainstream ideology of Confucianism stood in the way of her ambition. If she wanted to sit on the throne of China, she needed an ideology of her own.
好多皇帝嘛，他在建立这个他的帝国之前，有次是杀人如麻，血流成河，使老百姓民不聊生。那么我是当了皇帝以后，我悉心向佛，我会是一个好皇帝，上天会不拯救我的。
Once she was on the throne, Wu Zetian got to work. Her favorite male retainer was a man called Shu Huayi. In addition to his other talents, he was well endowed with brains. He soon found a theoretical justification for her rule. Shu Huayi discovered something in a Buddhist scripture called the Dayun Sutra that made his mistress very happy. The sutra tells of a goddess who becomes a queen. The people ruled by this queen live in a state of perpetual bliss. Wu Zetian began to promote Buddhism enthusiastically. She was keen that everybody should know about the Dayun Sutra and the goddess who became a queen. Copies of the sutra were made and sent all over the country. She ordered the construction of temples so people could come and see the sutra and learn how important and sacred it was. These were the Dayun temples. These efforts eventually bore fruit. In October 690, Wu Zetian, at the age of 67, was proclaimed Empress of China. Jingzhou received its orders to put up a Dayun temple, but the inscription on the lid of the casket found in 1964 says that something extraordinary happened when the temple was being built. The relics of a Buddhist saint were dug up. These were no ordinary relics. The inscription said that these 14 relics were dug up in the very year that Wu Zetian ascended the throne. The relics also had a connection with Yang Jian, the first emperor of the Sui dynasty. Zhang Yingwen now understood why they were so important to Wu Zetian and why they were reburied in such style. A chance discovery. A most mysterious treasure. 3 major discoveries in an old town in 49 years.
大概有1000多里。
笔录上记载有2000余里，
不止2000余里啊，可能要3000以上了。
You are watching the mystery of the underground palace in Dayun Temple. In the time of the Northern Zhou dynasty, Yang Jian was a senior official. However, Yang Jian was not a model of Confucian filial piety. Instead of helping and guiding the young and inexperienced emperor, he murdered him. He declared himself emperor. But how could he be accepted as a legitimate ruler? As far as Confucians were concerned, he had broken the rules. Like Wu Zetian, he couldn't use the teaching of Confucius to justify his rule. So, just as she did, he turned to Buddhism. Emperor Wen, as he became known, showed the country how devoted he was to his new faith by building stupas. They were erected at a stupendous rate. 110 of them were put up while he was on the throne. Emperor Wen even claimed to be a reincarnation of the Buddha. To make the point even more explicit, Emperor Wen ordered the construction of Da Xingguo temples all over the country. A Da Xingguo temple was put up in Jingzhou. The emperor made a small donation to this temple, 14 Sarira relics from his own personal reliquary. These were dug up when a Dayun temple was being built and reburied in the underground palace.
隋文帝他不是按正规传统的禅让制当上的，而是非推翻了前朝而建立的新朝。像武则天一样，他只有这个佛教能够给支持他这个改朝换代。
In 694, 93 years after Emperor Wen embarked on his temple building program, Wu Zetian ordered the construction of the Dayun temples. Jingchuan's Dayun temple was erected on the site of the old Da Xingguo temple. This accounts for the discovery of the relics. Wu Zetian believed the discovery of the relics was a good omen. The Buddha was on her side. They showed their approval of her actions by making sure that people discovered Buddhist relics just as she was being proclaimed empress. She expressed her gratitude and devotion to the Buddha by giving the relics a royal burial in a crystal bottle concealed in finely crafted coffins made of bronze, silver, and gold. Both Emperor Wen and Wu Zetian lavished money on relics for Buddhist shrines. Their main intention was to promote Buddhism in order to legitimate their rule. They wanted people to be good, devout, passive Buddhists. If they succeeded, nobody would question their right to rule. Their dynasties would continue, and the country would be united and at peace. Zhang Yingwen never forgot the 1964 relics. For the rest of his life, he was grateful that fate had given him the chance to be involved in a major archaeological discovery. Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine that another treasure trove would come his way. It came just 5 years later. In the winter of 1969, farmers from another village in Jingchuan County, working just 200 meters away from the ruins of the Dayun Temple, found something. It was a casket. They opened it and found another one inside. It was exactly the same kind of casket as the one found in 1964.
第二次发现过程，直到现在没有人知道，因为当时是正在搞文化大革命。张彦翁发现以后，就直接把它，弄到棺里来嘛，也没有声张，所以大家对这个过程不清楚。
This time, all the caskets were made of bronze, and the crystal bottle inside the final casket contained just 10 relics. The inscription on the casket mentioned a monk called Hui Ming, who was regarded as a saint because he had lived a frugal and austere life, devoted to raising enough money to put up a statue of the Buddha. The relics dated from the second year of the Northern Zhou dynasty, predating the Dayun temple by 123 years.
铭文里边记载的这一个事情，就是比丘慧明造佛像的这件事。那么这个石函里边装的是佛舍利，那么这个铭文里头呢，根本就没有提这个佛舍利这件事情。
Zhang Yingwen was puzzled. Why was there no mention of relics in the inscription on the casket? Zhang Yingwen could think of no answer. All he was sure of was that this second casket had nothing to do with Wu Zetian. The discoveries made over the years in Jingchuan prove that the ancient city of Jingchuan was regularly visited by Buddhist pilgrims. The remains of pagodas and grottos on both banks of the river Jing indicate that Jingzhou was a major center of Buddhism that attracted many pilgrims. Buddhism itself was probably introduced into the city by Buddhists traveling along the Silk Road. It was from cities like this that the religion gradually seeped into mainstream Chinese culture. Wu Zetian's Dayun temples must have attracted even more pilgrims to the area. In time, the Dayun temple fell into ruin and disappeared. Fortunately, the relics remained safe in their underground palaces and were preserved. In 2008, a new temple arose from the ruins of the old Dayun temple. It's now a Jingchuan County landmark. How many more treasures are waiting to be dug out of the soil of Jingchuan County? As for those found in 2013, what's their relationship with the Dayun temple? The discovery was made on the site of the old temple, so a relationship seems likely. Were they buried on the orders of Wu Zetian as well? It's a month since Zhang Yangjian of the Shanxi Archaeological Research Institute arrived in Jingzhou and began her investigation into the Buddhist relics found there. It's painstaking work. To date, she's identified more than 1,000 relics. As she sorts through the evidence, it's becoming clear there could be many more, perhaps as many as 2,000. Please join us for part 3 of the mystery of the underground palace in Dayun Temple.